The divorce papers sit on Kim Tae-woo's desk, and for the first time in his life, the most feared mafia boss in Seoul doesn't know what to do. His wife, the woman who left everything in Chicago to build a life with him, just walked out with boxes and a U-Haul, and 3 years of silence finally broken into words that destroyed him. She's been invisible in his world, locked away in their mansion like a secret he was ashamed of, kept hidden while he told himself it was protection. And yesterday was her birthday, and he forgot. Again, just like he's forgotten everything that matters for 3 years while she disappeared inside their marriage. Welcome to Afro-Seoul Stories, besties. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tae-woo stares at those papers like they might catch fire if he looks hard enough. Ashley's signature sits at the bottom, neat and final, and he can't breathe around the reality of it. She's done. After 3 years of waiting for him to see her, include her, treat her like she matters, she's done. His phone buzzes. Text from J1, his second in command. She's gone. Took everything. Lila helped her pack. He's out of his chair before he consciously decides to move. Grabs his keys, his jacket, doesn't bother telling anyone where he's going. Just knows that his wife is leaving and he can't. He can't let her disappear without a fight. The drive to Lila's apartment in the Arts District takes 15 minutes that feel like hours. Tae-woo's hands are shaking on the steering wheel. Actually shaking. The same hands that have held guns steady, that have signed death warrants without flinching, that have built an empire on violence and control. They're trembling because Ashley Garrett decided she's had enough. He takes the stairs 2 at a time to the 3rd floor. Doesn't hesitate. Pounds on apartment 3C hard enough that someone down the hall opens their door to check what's happening. Lila answers with a glare that could strip paint. Absolutely not. I need to see her. She doesn't want to see you. Lila starts closing the door. Lila, please. No. The word is final. You had 3 years to see her, Tae-woo. You chose not to. So no, you don't get to show up now demanding. It's fine. Ashley's voice cuts through from inside the apartment. Tired. So tired. Let him in. Lila turns, surprised. Ashley, you don't have to. I know, but I want to get this over with. Lila steps aside reluctantly, and Tae-woo enters the small apartment that's nothing like the mansion Ashley just left. It's cramped. The furniture is worn. There are boxes stacked against every wall. But it feels lived in. Real. Everything their 15,000 square foot house never was. Ashley sits on the couch in sweatpants and an old college hoodie, hair wrapped in a silk scarf, no makeup. She looks exhausted and somehow lighter at the same time, like leaving him already started the healing process. The realization is a knife between his ribs. You have 5 minutes, she says, not looking at him. Then you leave. I'm not signing the papers. Figured. She still won't meet his eyes. That's why I'm filing in court tomorrow. With or without your signature, this marriage is over. Why? It comes out desperate, raw. Ashley. What did I do that was so terrible you can't even talk to me about it first? Her laugh is broken glass. You really don't know? I know I work too much. I know I'm not home enough. You kept me prisoner for 3 years. She finally looks at him, and the pain in her eyes nearly drops him. You locked me in that house like I was something to hide. Something shameful. Something you regretted. I was never ashamed of you. Then what, Tae-woo? Because from where I was sitting, alone in that mansion day after day after day, it looked a lot like you regretted marrying me. Like I was a mistake you were trying to bury. He moves toward her instinctively. She stands, steps back, putting the coffee table between them. I moved across the world for you, she says, and now her voice is shaking. Left my family, my friends, my job, everything I knew. Came to a country where I didn't speak the language, didn't know anyone, didn't understand the culture. And you know what you gave me in return? Tae-woo doesn't answer. Can't. Nothing. You gave me nothing. A big empty house. A closet full of clothes I had nowhere to wear. Days and days of silence while you were out doing whatever it is you do that's more important than your wife. Ashley, I had no friends, no life, no purpose except waiting for you to come home. And when you did come home, you'd go straight to your office, eat dinner in silence, go to bed without talking to me. I was a ghost in my own marriage, Tae-woo. Do you understand that? A ghost. Every word lands like a blow, and he has no defense because it's all true. The silence that follows is suffocating. Tae-woo wants to explain about the enemies, the dangers, the 1,000 ways his world could hurt her. But looking at her devastated expression, he realizes none of that matters. Because whatever his reasons were, the result was the same. He destroyed her. I don't know what to say, he admits finally. Voice rough. Except that I love you. I've always loved you. And I know I failed you. But please, don't give up on us. Give me a chance to do better. I gave you 3 years of chances. Ashley's voice is flat now, all the emotion drained out. 3 years of waiting for you to see me. Include me. Treat me like your partner instead of your secret. So no, I'm done giving you chances. I'm done waiting for you to decide I'm worth your time. You are worth it. You're worth everything. Then why didn't you act like it? The question hangs in the air between them. Heavy. Unanswerable. Your 5 minutes are up. Leave. Ashley, please. Leave. Now. Or I'm calling the police. He searches her face for any softness, any indication she might reconsider. Finds nothing but exhaustion and resolve. So he leaves. Because it's what she's asking, and he's already taken too much from her without permission. But at the door, he turns back. I'm not signing those papers. And I'm not giving up on you. I failed you for 3 years, but I won't fail you anymore. She doesn't respond. Just watches him leave with eyes that have already started mourning. The house is too empty that night. Too quiet. Taewoo keeps expecting to hear Ashley's footsteps, her voice humming while she reads, the small sounds of her presence that he stopped noticing somewhere along the way. Now they're gone, and the silence is deafening. Jae-won finds him in his office at 3 a.m., still sitting in the dark, staring at nothing. Boss, you need to sleep. I need to fix this. Taewoo doesn't look up. My wife left me. Everything else can wait. What are you going to do? I don't know yet. He runs both hands through his hair. But I'm not signing those papers. I'm not letting her go without a fight. Boss, maybe she needs space. Time to cool down. No. The word is final. No space. No time. She spent 3 years in space while I ignored her. I'm not making that mistake again. He stands, some of the paralysis finally breaking. Find out what she's doing. Where she's going. Not to control her, to understand her. I need to know who she is now. Who she became while I wasn't paying attention. Jae-won nods slowly. I'll make some calls. 2 days later, the report comes back. Ashley's looking at commercial real estate in the arts district. Small storefronts, mostly. Lila's been going with her to viewings. There's a receipt for a pottery kiln consultation. Pottery. Taewoo stares at that detail for a long time. Tries to remember if Ashley ever mentioned interest in pottery. Can't recall it. Can't recall a lot of things about his own wife, apparently, because he was too busy keeping her locked away to actually know her. The realization sits heavy in his gut. Get me the names of pottery supply stores in the city, he tells Jae-won. The good ones. And find out who owns those commercial properties she's looking at. Boss, you can't just buy her a business. I'm not buying her anything. I'm making sure she has what she needs to build something for herself. He picks up his phone. Something I should have encouraged 3 years ago. That afternoon, flowers arrive at Lila's apartment. Sunflowers. Bright and impossible to ignore. The card reads in Taewoo's handwriting. You always brought light into dark rooms. I'm sorry I kept you in the dark. Ashley stares at the flowers for a long time. Her first instinct is to throw them away. Her second is to send them back. But they're beautiful, and the message is more honest than anything he said to her in their last year of marriage. She puts them in water, tells herself it's because wasting flowers is wrong. Doesn't examine why her hands shake while she arranges them in a vase. The next day brings more flowers. Wildflowers this time, a chaotic riot of colors that somehow work together. The card reads, every moment with you is vivid. Every moment without you is gray. I'm sorry I didn't see the color you brought to my life until you took it away. Lila finds her crying over the wildflowers. Girl, if you're going to take him back over some flowers. I'm not taking him back. Ashley wipes her eyes. They're beautiful. And the words feel manipulative. Honest. Ashley touches one of the delicate petals. He's never been good with words. Never wrote me notes or anything. This is different. Different doesn't mean enough. But Lila's voice softens. Just be careful, okay? He broke you once. Don't let him do it again. Ashley nods. Keeps the flowers anyway. Day 3 brings white orchids. Delicate, elegant, expensive. The card. You deserved beauty and attention. I gave you loneliness and silence. I'm sorry. Day 4, a letter. Not a card. An actual letter. 3 pages of Taewoo's precise handwriting. Ashley. I've been trying to figure out what to say to make this right. Spent 3 days writing and rewriting this letter. Then I realized there's nothing I can say that will make it right. I destroyed 3 years of your life. Made you feel invisible and worthless and trapped. And no combination of words changes that. But I need you to know some things anyway. I remember the night we met. You were at that art gallery opening in Chicago, wearing a blue dress that made you look like the sky right before sunset. I watched you for an hour before I got the courage to talk to you. You were looking at this painting, abstract, all harsh lines and sharp angles, and you said to your friend that sometimes beauty lives in the broken places. That's when I fell in love with you, because you saw possibility in damage. I thought I was being careful with you, protecting something precious. Didn't realize I was breaking you slowly, day by day, with every choice I made to keep you separate from my world. You moved across the ocean for me, and I repaid you by making you invisible. I'm sorry doesn't cover it. Nothing covers it. But I'm going to try anyway. Try to show you I see you now. Try to prove I understand what I lost. Try to be the man you deserved 3 years ago. I love you. I've loved you since that art gallery. I'll love you long after you've moved on from me. That's not manipulation or guilt. It's just truth. T. Ashley reads the letter 4 times. Cries through most of them. Then she folds it carefully and puts it in her dresser drawer, because throwing it away feels too final and keeping it out feels too dangerous. 1 week after she left, Ashley signs a lease on a small storefront in the Arts District. The space is raw, exposed brick, concrete floors, high ceilings with industrial beams. It needs work. New lighting, proper ventilation, display shelving. But it's hers. The first thing that's been entirely hers in 3 years. The money for the lease, for the renovations, for the equipment she's ordering. It all comes from accounts Taewoo set up for her years ago. He was always generous with money, just never with time, presence, or himself. But Ashley doesn't feel guilty using it. She earned this. Earned it by surviving 3 years of loneliness in his mansion. She names it Garrett Clay Studio, reclaiming her maiden name, and spends 14-hour days getting it ready. Lila helps when she can, and some people from the pottery class Ashley's been taking, and slowly the empty storefront transforms into something beautiful. Taewoo knows about all of it. Gets reports from Jae-won, who's been instructed to help however possible without making it obvious. Permits that get approved quickly. Contractors who suddenly have openings. Supply orders that arrive ahead of schedule. Ashley doesn't notice. Or if she does, she doesn't comment. The letters keep coming. 1 every 3 days, each more vulnerable than the last. I miss the way you hummed while cooking. I miss finding your books everywhere because you'd start reading in one room and forget where you left off. I miss the way you'd fall asleep during movies and then insist you saw the whole thing. I miss you so much it feels like a physical wound. I'm not writing this to make you feel guilty. I'm writing because I need you to know you were seen. Even when I was failing you, even when I was making every wrong choice, I saw you. I just didn't know how to show it without putting you in danger. Didn't realize the danger I was protecting you from was nothing compared to the damage I was doing. Ashley saves every letter. Tells herself she'll throw them away eventually. Doesn't believe it. 2 months after she left, Taewoo shows up at the studio. It's late, almost closing time, and Ashley's covered in clay dust, hair wrapped up, wearing overalls that have seen better days. She looks up when the bell chimes and freezes when she sees him in the doorway. He looks different. Thinner. There are shadows under his eyes that weren't there 2 weeks ago, and his expensive suit hangs a little loose on his frame. I'm not here to argue, he says immediately, hands visible, non-threatening. I had a rough day. A really rough day, and I wanted to see your face. That's all. I'll leave right after. Ashley should tell him to go. Should maintain her boundaries, protect her healing heart. But he looks so broken standing there in her doorway. And she's discovering that 2 months of separation hasn't killed her love for him, just complicated it. What happened? The question escapes before she can stop it. Lost a shipment. $10 million worth seized because someone in my organization is informing. He runs a hand through his hair, destroying its careful styling. And I came home to an empty house and remembered that the one person who made any of it bearable isn't there anymore. The vulnerability in his voice does something to her chest. Makes it hard to breathe. I'm sorry about the shipment, she says quietly. Business is business. His jaw tightens. Losing you is, that's the only thing that actually matters. They stand in silence for a moment, the air between them heavy with everything unsaid. Then Taewoo does exactly what he promised, turns to leave. Wait. Ashley surprises herself. Do you want? There's coffee in the back. It's terrible, but it's caffeinated. He turns back slowly, hope flickering in his eyes. You're offering me coffee? I'm offering you 5 minutes of not being alone. Don't make me regret it. They sit in her small back office, surrounded by pottery supplies and order forms, drinking terrible coffee from mismatched mugs. Taewoo looks around at what she's built, and his expression is something between pride and regret. This is beautiful, he says. What you've created here. It's all you, your taste, your vision. It's beautiful. Thank you. She curls her hands around her mug. It's the first thing I've built that's just mine. Not ours. Not yours. Mine. You should have had this 3 years ago. Should have had space to create, to be yourself, to exist outside of being my wife. He sets his mug down carefully. I stole that from you. I'm sorry. Ashley doesn't respond immediately. Just studies him. Really looks at him for the first time since she left. The weight loss. The new lines around his eyes. The exhaustion that goes bone deep. He's suffering too. Doesn't make what he did okay, but it's something. Why did you do it? She asks finally. The truth, Taewoo. The real reason you kept me locked away. He's quiet for a long time. Then, fear. Pure fear. Fear that if people knew you existed, they'd use you against me. Fear that loving you openly would get you killed. Fear that I'd lose you to my world's violence before I'd even really had you. He meets her eyes. I was a coward. I chose the illusion of your safety over your happiness. And I lost you anyway. You could have talked to me. Explained the risks. Let me make my own choices about what I could handle. I know. I should have. But I'm used to making decisions alone, controlling situations, eliminating variables. Didn't know how to have a partner. Just knew how to have something to protect. His smile is self-deprecating. Turns out I'm terrible at relationships. You're not terrible. You made me invisible. You made me a ghost in my own life. Ashley sets her mug down. Do you know what it's like to feel invisible to the person who's supposed to see you most? I'm learning. His voice is rough. Every day without you, I'm learning exactly what I did to you. And it's destroying me. The admission hangs between them, raw and honest. Ashley's phone alarm chimes. Closing time. Taewoo stands immediately, doesn't overstay his welcome. Thank you, he says at the door. For the coffee. For the 5 minutes. For not slamming the door in my face. Don't make this a habit, she warns. But her voice lacks conviction. I won't. He pauses. That's a lie. I'll probably be back. But I'll try not to be a nuisance about it. He leaves, and Ashley locks the door behind him, leaning against it. Her heart is pounding, palms sweating, and she doesn't know if letting him in, even for just 5 minutes, was brave or stupid. Probably both. The pattern continues. Letters arrive every few days, each one more vulnerable than the last. And every few days, Taewoo appears at closing time, looking exhausted, saying he just needed to see her face. He never stays long, never pushes, just sits in her back office drinking terrible coffee, sharing pieces of his day, then leaving before she can get too comfortable with his presence. It's been 4 months since she left when everything shifts. Ashley's in the studio, arranging her work for the soft opening next week, when Taewoo appears at the usual time. But something's different. He's not just tired, he's shaken, rattled in a way she's never seen. What happened? She's on her feet immediately. Nothing. I'm fine. But his hands are trembling. Actually trembling. I needed to see you. Needed to know you're safe. Taewoo, what happened? He tries to brush it off. Can't. The mask cracks, and suddenly he looks terrified. There was an incident. One of Park's crew tried to. It doesn't matter. I handled it. But for a minute there, I thought, his voice breaks. I thought I might not make it out. And all I could think about was you. That if I died, you'd spend the rest of your life thinking I didn't love you. That I didn't care. And I can't. Ashley, I can't leave this world with you believing that. She crosses to him, takes his shaking hands in hers. You're here. You're safe. Whatever happened, you're okay. I'm not okay. He pulls his hands away, paces like a caged animal. I'm not okay because my wife left me and I deserve it. Because I spent 3 years pushing away the only good thing in my life. Because I'm a coward who chose fear over love and now I'm paying for it. Taewoo, I should go. I shouldn't have come here like this. He heads for the door, but Ashley doesn't let him leave. Grabs his arm, stops him. Tell me what happened. The truth. All of it. And slowly, haltingly, he does. An ambush at one of his properties. Park's crew making a territorial move. Shots fired. 2 of his men injured, 1 of Park's men dead. And Tae-woo standing in the aftermath, hands covered in someone else's blood, thinking about Ashley. About how his world could swallow her whole. About how keeping her separate was supposed to prevent exactly this kind of fear. "This is my life," he says when he's finished. "Violence and danger and blood. This is what I was trying to keep you away from. This is why I locked you up like a prisoner, because I was terrified of what would happen if you got caught in the crossfire." Ashley is quiet for a long time, processing. Then, "So you decided for me. Decided I couldn't handle it. Decided I was too fragile to be trusted with the truth. I was trying to protect you. You were trying to control me." But her voice is softer now. Understanding starting to dawn. "You were scared, so you locked me away. Made me invisible so your enemies wouldn't see me. Kept me separate so the violence wouldn't touch me." Yes. He looks at her, and his eyes are wet. "And it was the wrong choice. I know that now. I should have trusted you. Should have let you decide if you could handle my world. Should have treated you like a partner instead of something breakable." She steps closer. "I'm not breakable, Tae-woo. I'm strong. I left everything I knew to be with you. I survived 3 years of loneliness in your house. I packed my bags and started over when I'd had enough. I'm not fragile. I'm a survivor. I know. I see that now. He stops, forces the truth out. "I was so scared of losing you to violence that I lost you to neglect instead. And I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to be the man you need. Maybe start by being honest. By trusting me with the truth instead of hiding it." She reaches up, touches his face. "I can't be your partner if you keep me in the dark. Can't love you properly if you won't let me see all of you, including the scary parts." He closes his eyes, leans into her touch. "I'm sorry. For all of it. For making you invisible. For wasting 3 years. For being too much of a coward to include you in my life. I know." And she does. Can see it in every line of his face, every tremor in his hands. "But sorry isn't enough. You have to actually change. Actually let me in. I will. I swear I will. Just give me a chance. One more chance to do this right." Ashley wants to say yes immediately. Wants to fall back into his arms and pretend the last 3 years didn't happen. But she's learned something in these 4 months apart. She's learned that she can survive without him. That she's strong enough to stand alone. And that means she's strong enough to demand what she deserves. "I need to tell you something," she says, stepping back. "About why I really left. About what broke me. You don't have to. I do. Because if you're going to change, you need to understand all of it." She takes a breath. It wasn't just the loneliness. It wasn't just feeling invisible. It was your sister. Tae-woo goes very still. Soo-jin. And then Ashley tells him. Everything she's held inside for 3 years. Every comment about her race. Every reminder that she'd never be Korean enough, family enough, good enough. Every day of being told she was an embarrassment, a mistake, something to be ashamed of. The words about her hair, her clothes, her voice, her very existence. The prediction that their children would be half-breeds who'd never belong anywhere. "She told me I was tainting the Kim bloodline," Ashley says, and her voice cracks. "That you could have married someone suitable. Someone Korean. Someone who wouldn't embarrass the family. And you were never there to hear it. Never there to defend me. Never even asked how I was doing." Tae-woo's face has gone deadly pale. "She said that to you? All of it? Every day? Sometimes multiple times a day when you were gone for work?" Tears stream down Ashley's face now. "I tried to tell you. The first few times, I mentioned it. You said Soo-jin was traditional, that she'd come around, that I should be patient. So I stopped telling you. Because it was clear you weren't going to do anything about it. I didn't know. Ashley, I swear I didn't understand. You should have known. You should have paid enough attention to your wife to notice she was being destroyed in your own home." Her voice rises. "I lost myself in that house, Tae-woo. Lost my confidence, my self-worth, my belief that I deserved to be loved. Because your sister convinced me I was worthless, and you never once contradicted her. Never once made me feel like I mattered more than your family's approval." He looks devastated, broken in a way she's never seen. "I'm so sorry. I'm so..." And then there was the ball. Her voice drops. "The annual Mafia ball. The one you promised me 3 years ago when we were dating. You said someday you'd take me. That I'd wear something beautiful and dance with you and meet your world." His face crumbles. He remembers the promise. It fell on my birthday this year. My birthday, Taewoo. And you took Hae-won instead. She's crying hard now. I spent my birthday alone, scrolling through social media, watching my husband smile with another woman at the event he promised me. And that's when I knew. I wasn't your wife. I was your secret. Your shame. Something to hide because I wasn't good enough for your world. No. No. Ashley. That's not. He reaches for her. She steps back. That's what it felt like. That's what your actions told me, even if your words said something different. You kept me locked away, let your sister destroy me, and took another woman to the one event I'd been waiting 3 years for. What was I supposed to think? The silence that follows is suffocating. Taewoo looks like she physically struck him, and maybe she did. Maybe truth is violence sometimes. I didn't know, he says finally. Voice wrecked. About Sujin. About how badly I hurt you. About, he stops. I thought I was keeping you safe. Thought if nobody knew how much you mattered, nobody could hurt you. But I was hurting you worse than any enemy ever could. Yes. The word is simple. Final. I'm going to fix this. His voice goes hard, determined. Sujin, what she did is unforgivable. She's going to apologize. Properly. Or she's dead to me. Taewoo. No. This isn't negotiable. She destroyed you. And I let it happen by not being there. That ends now. He looks at Ashley with an intensity that steals her breath. I can't undo 3 years of failures. But I can make sure nothing like it ever happens again. I can include you in my life instead of hiding you from it. I can be the husband you deserved from the beginning. Can you? Ashley's voice is small. Can you really change? Or are you just saying what I want to hear? I don't know. The honesty catches her off guard. I don't know if I can be perfect, but I know I can be better. I know I can try. And I know I love you enough to spend the rest of my life proving it. She wants to believe him, wants to trust that this time will be different. But trust is built slowly, and Taewoo broke it thoroughly. I need time, she says finally, to process all of this, to figure out if I can forgive you, if we can rebuild. Take all the time you need. He moves toward the door, then stops. For what it's worth, thank you. For telling me the truth. For trusting me with how badly I hurt you. I know that wasn't easy. It wasn't. She wipes her eyes. But you needed to hear it. All of it. He nods. Leaves without another word. And Ashley collapses into her chair, emotionally exhausted, and wonders if love is ever enough when the damage runs this deep. 3 days pass. No letters. No flowers. No late evening visits. The silence is deafening, and Ashley realizes she'd gotten used to his presence. His pursuit. The steady reminder that he hasn't given up. Now there's nothing, and she doesn't know if that means he's finally accepting defeat or if something's wrong. On day 4, Jae-won appears at her studio just before closing. His face is grim. You need to come with me. It's Taewoo. Ashley's heart stops. What happened? Park's crew retaliated. They ambushed him outside a meeting 2 days ago. Jae-won's jaw tightens. He's at Chicago General. It's serious. The world tilts sideways. Ashley doesn't remember the drive to the hospital. Doesn't remember Jae-won's explanations or the route they took. Just remembers terror, pure, choking terror. That Taewoo might die before she got to tell him she forgives him. That she loves him. That she wants to try again. The hospital corridor is too white, too bright, too sterile. Jae-won leads her to a private room guarded by 2 of Taewoo's men. They nod respectfully as she passes. And then she sees him. Taewoo lies in the hospital bed looking smaller than she's ever seen him. Bandages wrap his torso, his shoulder. One arm's in a sling. His face is bruised purple and yellow, a cut above his eyebrow held together with butterfly stitches. For lines snake into his other arm. But he's awake. And when he sees her in the doorway, relief floods his battered face. You came, he says. Voice rough, damaged. Of course I came, you idiot. She's at his bedside in 3 strides, taking his good hand like she's afraid he'll disappear if she doesn't hold on. What happened? Ambush. 3 of Park's men caught me between my car and the building. He winces as he shifts position. Got 2 of them. The 3rd got me. Gunshot to the shoulder, knife to the ribs. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Her voice rises. Taewoo, you were stabbed and shot. But I'm alive. He squeezes her hand with his good one. I'm alive, and you're here, and that's all that matters. Ashley is crying now. Can't help it. You could have died. You could have, and the last real conversation we had was me telling you how much you hurt me. You could have died thinking I hate you. I don't think you hate me. I know you're hurt. There's a difference. His thumb traces circles on her palm. But for what it's worth, when I was on the ground, bleeding, not sure if I'd make it, I thought about you. About that first night we met. How you smiled at me like I was just a man and not a monster. How you said yes to forever without knowing what it would cost. Taewoo, let me finish. Please. He takes a shaky breath. If I had died today, my biggest regret wouldn't be the empire or the power or any of it. It would be that I never gave you the life I promised. That I never took you to that ball. That I never showed you off to the world. That I let fear turn me into the kind of man who locks away treasure instead of celebrating it. Fresh tears streamed down her face. You're not dying. The doctor said you're going to be fine. I know. But lying there on the pavement, I thought I might be. And I needed you to know, even if I did everything wrong, even if I failed you in every possible way, loving you was the best thing I ever did. Even badly. Even wrong. I got to love you, and that's more than I deserved. She can't speak. Can only hold his hand and cry and thank God or fate or whatever brought her to the hospital in time. I'm sorry, she finally manages. For not being there sooner. For not. You have nothing to apologize for. You came. That's all that matters. He tries to sit up, grimaces. Will you stay? I know the chair is uncomfortable and you have work tomorrow. I'm staying. She settles into the chair beside his bed. I already texted Lila. Studio's closed tomorrow. I'm not leaving you. The relief on his face is almost painful. Thank you. She stays through the night, dozing in the uncomfortable chair, waking every time he shifts or makes a sound. By morning, her neck is stiff and her back aches, and she's never been more certain of anything. She still loves him, despite everything, despite the pain and the loneliness and the 3 years of invisibility. She still loves him, and maybe that's enough to build on. The next morning brings an unexpected visitor. Ashley's half asleep in the chair when the door opens and Sujin walks in. Taewoo's sister stops abruptly when she sees Ashley, surprise and discomfort crossing her face. I didn't know you were here. Where else would I be? Ashley stands, putting herself between Sujin and Taewoo's bed. Did you need something? I came to see my brother. He was shot. Yes. Protecting the empire you benefit from. Ashley's voice is cold. What do you want, Sujin? Sujin looks genuinely uncomfortable now. Appa called me 2 days ago. After you told him about what I said to you. He told me I need to apologize. Do you want to apologize? Or are you just here because he demanded it? Does it matter? Actually, it matters a lot. Because if you're just saying words to get back in his good graces, we're wasting our time. Ashley crosses her arms. But if you actually understand what you did, how you spent 3 years destroying me, making me feel like I was worthless, convincing me I didn't belong, then maybe this conversation is worth having. Sujin is quiet for a long moment. Then, quietly, I was protecting him. By hurting me? By making sure you understood what you were getting into. The Kim family isn't easy. It's blood and violence and impossible choices. And you came in so optimistic, so American, thinking love would be enough. I thought, she stops. I thought if I showed you how hard it would be, you'd leave before you got hurt worse. Before you got him killed by being a distraction. So you decided to hurt me yourself? Preemptive damage. Ashley's voice is sharp. That's not protection, Sujin. That's cruelty. I know. The admission seems to cost her. I know that now. Appa made it very clear when he told me I'm dead to him unless I make this right. She looks at Ashley directly for the first time. I'm sorry. For the things I said about your race, your appearance, your children. For making you feel unwelcome in a family you married into. For being cruel when I should have been kind. You didn't deserve any of it. It's not perfect. The words are stiff, delivered with more pride than remorse. But there's genuine regret underneath, and Ashley can hear it. I can't forgive you yet, she says finally. What you did hurt too much, for too long. But I appreciate the apology. And if you're serious about changing, about treating me like a person instead of an intrusion, then maybe someday we can rebuild. That's more than I deserve. Sujin glances at her sleeping brother. He really loves you. I've never seen him like this, broken over a woman. We were taught to prioritize family over everything, and he's choosing you over all of us. That should tell you something. It tells me he's learning. Finally, Ashley softens slightly. He's not perfect. Neither am I. But we're trying to figure out how to be partners. I hope you make it work. Sujin moves toward the door. He's better with you. More human. The family needs that. She leaves, and Ashley sinks back into the chair, exhausted. Taewoo stirs, eyes opening slowly. Was that Sujin? You were awake? Enough to hear. Pain medication makes everything fuzzy. He attempts a smile. She apologized? She did. Not perfectly, but honestly. Ashley takes his hand again. I'm not ready to be her friend, but I can coexist with her. That's more than I expected. He pulls her hand to his lips, kisses her knuckles gently. Thank you. For giving her a chance. For being here. For not running when things got hard. I already ran once. Didn't solve anything. She squeezes his fingers. Maybe it's time to try staying. Taewoo spends 5 days in the hospital. Ashley stays for 3 of them, only leaving to shower and grab clean clothes before returning. They talk, really talk, in a way they haven't in years. He tells her about the honeymoon incident she never knew about. How 6 weeks after they got back, Park's crew ambushed his car. How he was shot. Just a graze, not serious, but serious enough. How that's when everything changed. When fear took over and he started making all the wrong choices. I realized I'd brought you into my world, and my world wanted to destroy anything I cared about. He says on day 3, staring at the ceiling. So I tried to keep you separate. Keep you safe. If they didn't know you existed, they couldn't hurt you. You could have told me. Ashley's voice is gentle but firm. We could have figured it out together. Been partners in navigating the danger instead of you treating me like a child who couldn't handle the truth. I know that now. But then, I just saw this woman I loved more than my own life. And I saw a world full of people who'd destroy her to get to me, and I panicked. He finally looks at her. Made the worst possible choices. Pushed you away to keep you safe, and lost you anyway. You didn't lose me. The words surprise her as much as him. I'm still here. Are you? I'm trying to be. She leans forward, elbows on the hospital bed. I can't promise I'll move back to the house tomorrow. Can't promise I'll put that ring back on and pretend the last 3 years didn't happen. But I can promise I'll try. Try to forgive you. Try to rebuild trust. Try to see if there's a version of us that actually works. Hope flickers in his eyes. What does that look like? Honesty. Partnership. You including me in your world instead of hiding me from it. She counts on her fingers. Taking me to your office. Introducing me to your people. Letting me understand what you actually do. And when danger comes, because it will come, we face it together. No more protection through ignorance. Deal. No hesitation. Anything. Everything. Whatever you need. And Sujin stays away until she learns to respect me. Not fake respect. Real respect. Already handled. She's on probation. One more racist comment, and she's cut off completely. And Ashley takes a breath. When you're healed, I want you to take me to that ball. The one I missed. I want to walk in with you. Dance with you. Meet your world properly. Not as a secret. As your wife. His smile is tired but genuine. The autumn ball is in 6 weeks. You'll be the only woman I even look at. Good. She kisses his forehead carefully. Now rest. You're no use to me dead. Yes, ma'am. When he's released from the hospital, Ashley doesn't go back to the mansion with him. Not yet. But she doesn't stay away completely either. She visits. Has dinner with him. Lets him drive her to the studio some mornings. They're rebuilding slowly, carefully, like she rebuilds broken pottery, with patience and the understanding that cracks will always show, but that doesn't make it less beautiful. 2 weeks after the hospital, Taewoo shows up at Garrett Clay's studio with an invitation. The autumn ball. 6 weeks from now. Every family, every ally, everyone who matters will be there. He hands her the elegant invitation. I want you there. As my wife. As my partner. As the woman I should have been celebrating 3 years ago. Ashley looks at the invitation, throat tight. This is it. The thing that broke her, offered again. The chance to rewrite history. People will talk. About us being separated. About the divorce filing. Let them talk. Let them see that we're fighting for each other. That we're choosing each other despite everything. He takes her hands. I want to walk in with you on my arm. Want to dance with you all night. Want everyone in that room to know. This is my wife, my choice, my forever. And if they have a problem with it, they can answer to me. You're sure? I've never been more sure of anything. He squeezes her hands. Say yes, Ashley. Give me the chance to do this right. To give you the moment you deserved 3 years ago. She thinks about the last ball. The photos that destroyed her. The birthday spent alone. The humiliation that became the final straw. Then she thinks about everything since. The letters, the vulnerability, the hospital vigil, the slow rebuilding of trust. Yes, she says finally. I'll go with you. His smile could light the entire city. The next month passes in a careful dance. Taewoo heals. Ashley opens her studio to the public. They see each other regularly, building something new from the wreckage of what was. He takes her to his office one afternoon, introduces her to his team. J1 is respectful, warm even. The others follow his lead. She learns about shipping routes and territory negotiations and the delicate balance between legitimate business and family legacy. You're good at this, she observes, watching him mediate a dispute between two lieutenants. The leadership part. You command respect without fear. Learn from my father. He was ruthless when necessary, but fair always. Taewoo leans back in his chair. I'm trying to transition us more legitimate. Hard when your foundation is violence, but possible. Maybe I can help. Fresh perspective. The offer surprises them both. I'd like that. He means it. Partners. Partners. She tests the word. Likes how it feels. In turn, Ashley brings Taewoo into her world. He visits the studio regularly now, not just at closing but during business hours. Meets her customers, watches her work. His presence causes some stares. Everyone knows who Kim Taewoo is, but he's respectful, even charming, and people relax. You're different here, he observes one evening, watching her glaze a bowl. More yourself. I'm reclaiming who I was before I disappeared into being Mrs. Kim. She sets the bowl aside carefully. And you're different here too. Less boss, more human. I like being human with you. The night of the autumn ball arrives with crisp fall air and the weight of everything they've rebuilt. Ashley dresses carefully in a gown Taewoo scent, deep emerald that makes her brown skin glow. She wears her natural curls free and wild, adds gold jewelry, and when she looks in the mirror, she sees herself. Not someone trying to fit a mold. Just Ashley Garrett, whole and reclaimed. Taewoo picks her up personally, and when he sees her, his expression is reverent. You're perfect. His voice catches. Ashley, you're. I'm nervous, she admits. All those people, all that judgment, they'll love you. And if they don't, they'll pretend to, because disrespecting you means disrespecting me. He offers his arm. Ready? No. But let's go anyway. The ballroom is spectacular. Crystal chandeliers, live orchestra, hundreds of people in formal wear. Everyone turns when they enter, and the whispers start immediately. That's her. The wife who left. She's actually here. Did they reconcile? Taewoo doesn't let her hesitate. Keeps his hand firmly on the small of her back. Guides her through the crowd with confidence. He introduces her to everyone who matters. This is my wife, Ashley. She owns Garrett Clay Studio in the Arts District. Brilliant artist. Strongest woman I know. Not just my wife. Not just Ashley. But my wife Ashley, with actual information about who she is, what she does, what makes her remarkable. He's celebrating her. Finally, they mingle, and Ashley expected judgment. Expected coldness. Instead, she finds curiosity, respect, surprising warmth. Turns out most of these people heard about the separation. Seeing them together again, seeing how Taewoo looks at her, tells them everything they need to know. When the dancing starts, Taewoo leads her to the floor immediately. I promised you this 3 years ago, he says, pulling her close. Should have delivered then. But I'm delivering now. They dance, and Ashley feels something shift. This is what she waited for. Not the ball itself, the acknowledgement. The public declaration that she matters. That she's not hidden or shameful, but celebrated. That Kim Taewoo chose her and isn't afraid to show it. Thank you, she whispers against his shoulder. For this. For finally letting me be part of your world. Thank you for giving me another chance to get it right. He kisses her temple. I love you. I'm going to spend the rest of our lives proving it. Later, during a break in dancing, an older woman approaches. Mrs. Choi, wife of a powerful family head. She studies Ashley carefully. You're the American wife. The one who left. Ashley lifts her chin. I am. Good for you. Mrs. Choi's smile is approving. These men need reminding that we're not furniture. We're partners. My husband learned that lesson 30 years ago. Glad young Taewoo is learning it before it's too late. She walks away, leaving Ashley surprised. Taewoo, who overheard, laughs. Told you. You fit here better than you think. I fit anywhere I choose to fit. She squeezes his hand. And I'm choosing to fit here. With you. Building something better than what we had. The ball continues until late. Ashley dances until her feet hurt, meets dozens of people, and slowly relaxes into the reality that she's not being rejected. She was never the problem. The hiding was the problem. But Ashley Garrett, visible and claiming her space? She fits perfectly. As the night winds down, Taewoo leads her out to a balcony overlooking Seoul. The city sparkles below them, alive and beautiful. "I have something for you," he says, pulling a small box from his pocket. Ashley's heart stutters. "Taewoo, it's not a new ring. It's your ring." He opens the box, revealing her wedding band. "I kept it after you left. Couldn't accept it was over. And now I'm asking, will you put it back on? Not because we're pretending the last few months didn't happen, but because we're choosing to move forward. Be the partners we should have been from the start." Ashley looks at the ring, then at him. This man who failed her and learned from it. Who hurt her and spent months making amends. Who's finally treating her like she matters. She holds out her hand. "Put it on me." He does, hands shaking slightly. And when the ring slides back into place, something settles in Ashley's chest. Not a return to what was. A step toward what could be. "I'm still keeping my studio," she says firmly. "Still maintaining my own space. I wouldn't want it any other way. But I'll visit more. Stay over sometimes. We'll figure out what living together looks like when we're actually partners. Deal." He kisses her softly. "Thank you for coming tonight. For wearing the ring. For giving us this chance. Thank you for finally fighting for us instead of just protecting us from each other." They stand on the balcony wrapped in each other's arms, and Ashley thinks about trajectories. How they could have ended tonight divorced, separated, strangers. Instead they're here, still broken in places, but mending. Still scarred but healing. Still married and choosing it consciously. 6 months later, everything changes again. Ashley's in her studio, finishing a custom order, when the nausea hits. She barely makes it to the bathroom before she's sick, and when she's done, she sits on the cold tile floor and does the math. Missed period. Exhaustion. Now nausea. Oh. She takes 3 tests to be sure. All positive. Pregnant. She and Taewoo, who are just figuring out how to be married, are about to add a whole new person to the equation. She's terrified. She tells him that night over dinner at the penthouse she still doesn't live in full-time, but visits regularly. He's mid-bite when she says it. "I'm pregnant." He nearly chokes. Sets his fork down carefully. We're 3 tests. All positive. We're having a baby." She watches his face, looking for panic. Finds none of it. "We're having a baby." He says it like he's testing the words, seeing if they feel real. Then he's up, around the table, pulling her into his arms. "Ashley, we're having a baby. You're happy?" "Happy? I'm terrified. I'm ecstatic. He pulls back to look at her face. "Are you happy?" "I don't know yet. Ask me in 9 months." But she's smiling. "We're going to be parents. We're going to be terrible at it. Probably. And amazing at it. Hopefully." She touches his face. "Our baby. With your stubbornness and my determination. The world doesn't stand a chance." He kisses her deeply, hands gentle on her still flat stomach. "Thank you. For this. For us. For not giving up. Thank you for learning. For changing. For becoming the partner I always needed." She kisses him back. "We're going to do this right. Raise this baby together. As actual partners. No secrets. No hiding. Just us, figuring it out day by day. Together," he agrees. Always. 9 months later, their daughter is born on a spring morning. Small and perfect, with a head full of dark curls and lungs that announce her arrival to the entire hospital. They name her Grace Soo-yeon. Grace for the second chance they gave each other. Soo-yeon for the heritage they're giving her. Taewoo holds her with hands that have done terrible things, but are infinitely gentle with this tiny person who's his second chance at getting love right. "She's perfect," he whispers, voice thick. "She's ours." Ashley watches them from the hospital bed, exhausted and whole in a way she hasn't been in years. And she's going to know both her parents. Going to grow up seeing what partnership looks like. What love looks like when it survives the hard parts. She'll never doubt she's wanted. Never feel invisible. Never wonder if she belongs. He looks at Ashley with wet eyes. "We're going to do better for her than we did for each other at first. We're going to do better for her because we learned how to do better for each other." Ashley looks at her husband, at their daughter, at the life they almost threw away and fought to rebuild. And she thinks about trajectory one more time. They could have ended as another divorce statistic. Another marriage destroyed by fear and miscommunication and the weight of unspoken pain. Instead, they're here. Not perfect. Still figuring things out. Still learning how to be partners. But together. Choosing each other. Building something stronger than what they started with. I love you, Tae-woo says, watching her rock their daughter. Thank you for not giving up on us. I love you too. Ashley's voice is soft, full. Thank you for finally fighting for us. Grace makes a small sound, and they both laugh. Their daughter, already demanding attention, already making her presence known. And in that hospital room, surrounded by the beeping of machines and the soft glow of dawn through the windows, they begin again. Not as the broken couple who almost ended, but as partners who survived, who rebuilt, who prove that love can weather anything if both people are willing to do the work. So there you have it, the story of Kim Tae-woo and Ashley Garrett. A marriage that almost crumbled, a love that almost died. Two people who made every wrong choice and then fought their way back to each other anyway. Because the best love stories aren't about people who get it right the first time. They're about people who get it wrong, learn from it, face the truth of their failures, and choose each other despite the damage. If this story touched you, hit that like button. Share this story. Subscribe for more stories about messy, complicated, real love that survives because both people refuse to quit. Until next time, remember, it's never too late to fight for what matters, even when you've already lost it once.